Hey friends, Julia here.
Hello, Zuko here.
We finally have episode 3 out. This was actually supposed to be episode 2, but we ran into a few technical difficulties. Nicole and I are very excited for this episode because we do have our first guest who we love and admire so much. We had such a great time filming it, and I hope you guys really enjoy it, but just be careful with your ears because the audio is a little crazy, so just please bear with us. This episode is literally the second episode we ever filmed, and it was still in its infancy of us growing a podcast and learning and, you know, trying different things, and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and yeah, let's get into it. You're like, if this is slang, it's your fault.
It really is. If we look like we're on a sinking ship, this is our intro.
This is your
And it was your responsibility.
No, it wasn't. I was on the sound.
And then who ran sound? Me. Anyway.
Hold me, just like you did in Naboo York City. In a galaxy not so far away, this is Naboo York City, hosted by Darth Juliet and Nicole Maricela.
Welcome everybody to Naboo York City, episode 2. This one will be a very special episode. We are having our first ever guest. And she is a wonderful cosplayer pertaining to Star Wars as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Olivia DeFilippo. Yay! And I pronounced it right,
You
right?
did, yes.
Oh my god, I was
so happy that you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
phenomenal. So just a quick bio of Miss Olivia over here. She is a New York City-based actress, singer, and cosplayer. She's done a whole arrangement of characters from everyone's favorite witch, Wanda Maximoff, and Loki variant Sylvie from Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as Star Wars characters like Miss Bo-Katan, and most recently, Hera Syndulla.
Yes.
That, we're going to get into that because it really does kick ass, and I love it for you. All your cosplays, all your
thank
cosplays
you.
suit you so well. Or you
every character.
yeah, exactly. You suit every character that you do. And even more about Olivia, besides the amazing cosplay she's done, you recently made your 54 Below debut,
I did,
correct?
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing.
So incredible.
Oh, I love that. Hopefully we get into that too a little bit later. What else? You have also done not one, but 2 contracts with Disneyland Paris.
I did, yes.
Let me get the lingo right. I hope the lingo is correct here. You were friends with Drizella.
I was friends with Gisela.
Yes, I'm a real Disney doll. You were friends with Drizella from Cinderella.
Yes.
You did, how many months were you out there in Paris?
So the first time I was out there for 5 months, and then the second
Okay.
time I was out there for 3, so 8 months in total.
Amazing.
Yes.
Love that. And then you have something else coming up Disney related that we'll get into as well a little bit later. Another amazing, very cool contract. So I'll let you now introduce yourself. That's a little bit about Miss Olivia. You can share your socials and everything else that you do, and a little rundown of your journey and love of Star Wars.
Yes, so I'm Olivia. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at the Libra Live. And I also have a podcast called Damsels Distressing that I do with one of my besties, Chloe. We talk about a variety of things. We have some Star Wars episodes coming up soon.
Exciting.
Including not one, but 2 about Rebels, because we couldn't
Yes.
stop talking about it.
Oh, happy Rebels Remember Day.
Oh, this is,
Happy
yes.
Rebels Day.
The day that we're filming, I'm not too sure when this will come out, but the day of filming, today is March 5th, is Rebels Remembrance Day. I feel like that was, I feel like this is really fitting to have you, not only having you as our first guest, but the fact that we're going to be going into Rebels and Hera stuff, and today of all days happens to be, Rebels.
Perfect day.
It's,
Continuing the celebration.
yes.
Serendipitous, because I didn't
Yes,
realize
exactly.
until a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until I think you posted on when I saw your Instagram story earlier today, and I was like, wait, wow, this actually makes a lot of sense.
Day.
Yes, and we'll get into the reason why we wanted you in general to be on the show.
Yes.
We have a roster of people, New York-based Star Wars fans that we wanted to have on, but I remember your next upcoming gig, and I was like, we need her immediately because she won't be here for a while. So yeah, you continue on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So
Your podcast.
yes, my podcast, which will have 2 Rebels episodes coming out soon, and I just started that podcast, so very exciting to be continuing with that in the next couple of months. So my journey with Star Wars, that's what I started.
Yes.
So I don't even remember when I became a Star Wars fan, is the funny thing. I remember watching the movies when I was probably like 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
I remember watching episodes of the Clone Wars on TV in passing, because also I have a younger brother. He's about 3.5 years younger than me, and we were both kind of getting into Star Wars at the same time, but I don't really know when I actually first watched it.
Yes.
But I think the first thing that I really got into of Star Wars was Star Tours at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was obsessed with C-3PO and R2-D2.
That's your favorite character, yeah. C-3PO.
Aw.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
We
I
have
love
2
it.
Libras, Star Wars fans, favorite character C-3PO. Do you guys?
C-3PO.
Do we think C-3PO is also a Libra, or a sign at least that's compatible with Libras? What do you guys headcanon him as?
I'm not too familiar with like
Traits of
Yeah,
zodiacs?
I'm not too familiar with those. I don't know. I don't think he'd be a Libra though.
No.
I don't think
I
so.
think more maybe a Pisces.
Oh, interesting. What makes you say Pisces?
I feel just the way his emotions.
It's the sensitivity, yeah.
His sensitivity, I feel like.
But also comes with a bite. He also comes with a
Yes,
bite.
exactly.
But yeah,
And I feel
interesting.
Like that's very
He has
Pisces.
good comedic timing.
Oh yeah,
like
I feel like that's a good
perfect.
a good Pisces trait as well.
Exactly.
We're actually going to be talking about zodiac signs and how they apply to Star Wars characters. It's
That's actually the podcast today.
That's actually the episode today. No, I'm kidding. No, please go on. So your journey with Star Wars.
Yeah, so I fell in love with that ride. I actually have one of the first Disney pins I got, which I collect. And I have so many now.
cute.
Was one of C-3PO, and it's a trash can. It's the Star Tours sign, and it's a little trash can, and it
What?
says R2-D2. Is that you?
Oh, that is
You know?
so cute. I need to
Wait, that's
see
kind of
this.
shady. That's a little shady coming from C-3PO.
It's so funny.
That's really cute.
So I think that's when I first really grasped into something. I loved the Star Wars, and then just consistently seeing the movies. I had them on DVD. Some point during that time I got them on DVD.
Yeah.
And my brother started getting really into Star Wars too, and then I just fell in love with the original trilogy. Fell in love with Leia, of course.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Of course.
And like everything Carrie Fisher did. Like she was such an inspiration of mine growing up.
Yeah.
And also one of my first crushes was Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But I didn't know for a while that he was both Han Solo
And Indiana Jones. Yeah.
My little 8-year-old brain didn't really make that correlation.
That must have been so rich when you were older. Like,
Right,
oh
I
my.
was like, wait,
They're the
I
same
like Han
person.
Solo and Indiana Jones? That makes a lot of sense.
That's so funny.
So I was just kind of, I love the movies, everything, but then I think I really, really became a fan when Force Awakens came out.
Oh, sure. And remind me what year that was. Was that-
2015.
2015. I was a senior in high school.
Oh, wow.
So like I love Star Wars all this time, was a fan, but then I think that is the movie that just really got me involved with the fandom online and
Sure.
a lot of the supplemental materials. And from then I just gone from there.
Oh, that's so cute. So, how do you what moment do you think was the like transition of you just being like a Star Wars fan from casual to like hardcore fan to then transitioning into your cosplay journey? Like
Yeah.
what's the timeline there? Walk us through that.
So I think that when I was in high school, definitely being on Tumblr during that time too.
Oh yes, the
golden age of
Tumblr days.
And I got one of my friends really into Star Wars at that point. So we were just like on Tumblr constantly, like reblogging everything about
Yeah.
Kylo Ren and Poe, who also Poe's my favorite from the sequel trilogy.
Hell, this is Stace. Hell yeah.
So, and also that started my Oscar Isaac love.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you guys understand.
Oh yes, on a very feral level, absolutely.
Oscar Isaac.
CEO, yeah.
Isaac over here.
Don't say that. No. Don't ever say that.
Podcast to
No.
our actual CEO.
Don't. What's the audio? I'm actually CEO of the company.
This is Nicole.
Back to Olivia.
So I think that's when
The Tumblr days, yeah.
the Tumblr days really got me more involved with it. And just really went from there. I actually was really lucky in 2019. I went to the opening day of Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios.
Oh, shut
Me and
up.
my
Are you
family
serious?
went. Yes. Also, I have to mention, which I didn't mention yet, is that I'm
Please.
a family of Star Wars fans. My
So
brother's a
cute.
really big fan. We actually, for his, I think, 7th or 8th birthday, we had a Clone Wars themed party. We all were assigned characters. I was Padme.
Oh.
He was Luke, of course. My dad was Vader.
Oh.
We did lightsaber fights with him. With lightsabers that we made out of, I think they were made out of wrapping paper.
Oh my
The
gosh.
tubes.
Yeah.
And my mom made an R2D2 cake.
That is so much commitment. I admire that. Oh my god.
I want this birthday.
Right. No. In our first episode, to just cut you off for like 2 seconds, we were talking about how like our journeys with Star Wars and how we didn't have the traditional growing up and childhood, like being indoctrinated by like a parent or a family member or brother like that. So hearing this, we just very jealous in a good way. In a good way. Because wow, that sounds really sweet. You said an R2D2 cake?
R2D2 cake.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
my mom made some incredible cakes for her birthdays growing up.
Is she like a baker or like?
No, she just kind of did it as a hobby. Because my
sweet.
grandma always
The
grew up
talent.
cooking and baking, and then she kind of took that and was like, I'm going to make these crazy cakes for my kids' birthdays.
Oh, I love that.
She would go viral on TikTok. I'm just
No,
saying.
she really
yeah.
would.
She would.
Really? You should get her back into that business of
Yes.
making some Star Wars themed cakes, you know?
Absolutely. Maybe Chopper will be next.
Oh my god. That's actually, yeah, like some little
really
wheels.
cute.
That's actually, yeah. His little hands. Anyway.
So my brother loves Star Wars. That's something that like made us really close growing up. Is that we
Oh,
both
so sweet, yeah.
love Star Wars,
Mhm.
and I think being like so close in age and actually being there together while the sequel trilogy is coming out and like
On the
everything
first day
that's
of Galaxy's
yeah,
Edge.
it's
How was the
awesome.
buzz on that day? I'm so curious.
Oh my god, it was. So I got to Hollywood Studios at 3 a.m.
And excuse me, was it Disneyland or Disney?
Disney World.
Oh, Disney World.
I went to
Okay.
the one in Disneyland.
Hmm?
I went to the one in Disneyland.
Oh, you went to opening day on Disneyland?
No, so the way that sorry.
Are you one-upping her right now?
No, I'm not. No. I don't know how. I don't remember how Disney World did it, but Disneyland was only opened if you had a reservation, so you had to stay at their hotel.
Oh.
They did that for Disney World except for on the opening day. It was just like literally an opening day. It was how early you got there.
Oh, wow.
No, I went the weekend, so it was like that
Oh,
Saturday.
okay.
But there was a lot of people, so I went like the weekend that it had like open to the public. So I went to the California one, not Disney World.
So how was it at Disney World then?
So
Yeah.
it was crazy. I had like a whole Ray Disney bound. My whole
Which
family.
Ray? From which movie?
It was Force Awakens, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, because when did Galaxy's Edge open?
2019, so it was right before Rise of Skywalker.
I understand. Okay, cool.
So I did a bound, my brother was bound, my mom, my dad kind of did a... I should probably also explain about my family more.
You joined this off camera and it was the funniest thing. It's so silly.
My mom she grew up during the time when the original trilogy was coming out.
Right.
She grew up a Trekkie, so that was her sci-fi of choice.
Yeah.
But she still saw the movies, loved
Sure.
them, and then introduced those movies to us.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also with me and my brother getting really, really involved during the Force Awakens times that made her a fan, and also going to Galaxy's Edge for the first time.
Sure,
and now
sure.
she loves everything. She's
Yeah.
a big Andor fan. She loves Rebels. She loves
Yeah.
Bad Batch.
All hit after hit after hit is what I'm hearing. So your mom has very, very good
She does.
taste.
And my dad, he also saw the movies growing up, but he's just kind of along for the ride. But he loves Boba Fett.
Yeah.
He loves some Boba Fett, and he's going to be very disappointed if Book of Boba Fett never gets a second season.
Never say never. Don't love it. He will I'm sure he'll be on the front lines campaigning next to Tamara Morrison himself because he rides for Boba Fett and Boba Fett only that hard.
The first text I got after the Mando's movie announcement was, "Is Boba Fett gonna be there?" And I was like, I hope so. I really do.
Yeah, I sure hope so, Dad.
I do love Boba Fett.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for you, I really hope so.
Look out for your sake and your sanity, Father.
Specifically for her dad.
Yes.
Petition.
But we all love Star Wars to our varying degrees.
Yeah.
My mom, and my brother are definitely these super fans.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so we all did our bounds. We all went. Yeah, at this point, Rise wasn't even open yet because Galaxy's Edge only opened with the Falcon.
Right.
So
Okay.
we actually did single rider for the first time. We went on it. We
Oh
waited
wow.
like 20 minutes.
Okay.
But we rode Millennium Falcon 4 times that day.
So
Yeah,
fun.
4 times that day. We saw all the characters, and the energy was just amazing. It was all
Yeah.
big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Everyone dressed up to some degree.
Did you cry?
Yes. I did cry. I did cry also, like, in the sea of people.
I feel like this is a Libra thing.
You didn't cry when you walked into Galaxy's Edge?
I was very emotional. I
I
did.
cried twice. I cried. No, I cried. Okay, so when I first went to the Disneyland,
Yeah.
I cried. I was like,
I
taking
imagine.
mental
Yeah.
pictures.
Oh,
I was like-
that's what I did too.
It was so
I don't.
emotional.
Gosh, I wish I could do. Do you remember which one I went to first? I don't remember if it was Disneyland or Disney World, but I remember the first one.
Disneyland.
Okay, yeah, I went to Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland, and when I saw that for the first time, I was also taking mental pictures. It was during the daytime too. I think I get a
Yeah.
little more emotional during the nighttime when the lights are on and all that.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's when I got a little emotional. But yeah, like during the day, I think I was more. I think I was like stunned into silence. I was really quiet. I was just looking at everything, taking pictures of everything, and feeling like, oh wow, like it feels like I'm in the universe, you know. So I wasn't really like bawling my eyes out. I was just really just like I was really taking everything like a sponge, you know.
I think it was also so cool because they let us into Galaxy's Edge at 6 a.m.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So it was still dark. So
Oh, okay.
So all the lights were on.
So imagine that. How was the
Falcon,
sunrise
like,
then?
Yeah, so we got to see the sunrise like
Oh my God.
behind the Falcon. They had
That's amazing.
stormtroopers
Yeah.
up on the balcony.
Sure.
And of course, it was just so cool.
Oh, I
Seeing this for the
love
first
it.
time was amazing.
Oh wow.
That's like a 1 in a million sort of
Right.
thing.
Yeah. I took us off on a tangent because I really was curious to hear your Galaxy's Edge story.
We all love
but
Galaxy's Edge.
well, yeah, no, it's I miss it very much. And you know what's more? I really love if like the international Disney places
They're
would
making
have
one.
really in
Oh,
Disneyland
no.
Paris.
Yes, in Paris they're making
Paris has
one.
got canceled.
What are you?
Yeah, Paris has got canceled.
I trust you. You're like our inside.
No, yeah.
You're our
I'm
inside
very-
source.
I'm very upset
How do you know
about
this?
it. But there's a rumor that they're going to build a Star Wars standalone attraction in
Oh, sure, okay.
Discovery Land. But yeah, the Galaxy's Edge there got canceled. And
This is breaking news to
Yes,
me.
breaking news.
What the
Breaking
fuck?
news.
Us.
International Galaxy's Edge is not happening for the Falcon.
Oh my god.
Are you? That's really disappointing.
Because they toned it down. It was originally supposed to be the full thing. And
Sure,
then
sure.
It was just going to be the Falcon.
Okay.
And then they were like,
Actually, we're scrapping the whole thing.
The disrespect.
I know what? That's crazy. Because all they have out there right now is Star Tours, if I'm correct, right?
Star Tours and then Hyperspace Mountain still
Oh, yes,
has an
yes.
overlay.
Can I talk about Hyperspace Mountain for like 2
That is
minutes?
the best ride.
It's so cool.
To lose your mind on.
Oh, we have to preface this that you do not like.
Okay,
roller
you
don't like
coasters.
coasters.
I am
She's
not.
not a coaster.
I'm not a
person.
coaster girly. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I just can't. Like, there's some rides that are more tame that I find entertaining and fun. Hyperspace Mountain threw me into like.
It's intense.
It's really. I had my eyes closed for most of the ride. Like, and my neck, girl, I was.
Oh my god. If Disneyland Paris is going to do one thing, if they're going to do a coaster with an inversion that the American Theme Park doesn't have an inversion.
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I felt
But
insane.
the thing is, the one in Paris is like crazy next level compared to the one that we have in both Disneyland
Yes.
and Disney World.
Right.
But even for those, you do not like that.
Here's the thing though. It was Disney World because we were right. We were dressed
For
up.
Oogie Boogie. No,
For Mickey's
Mickey's Not So Scary.
Okay. Here's the thing. I wasn't super scared, like because of like. Do you know what I want to say? Do you know my story? Okay, so. Here's the thing. No. Here's the thing.
Paint the scene.
So here's I'm gonna set the setting for you. It was Disney World, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. I decided to dress up as Sally the Rag Doll. Why are you laughing already? Sally the Rag Doll. That's not the funny part.
I know what you're gonna say.
Sally the Rag Doll from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes. So
Slee.
thank you very much. The makeup was a train wreck, but I was wearing a red wig for her hair, right? So we get on Space Mountain and. My dumbass, I think, kept my ears on. First mistake.
Oh no.
Second mistake, I didn't have enough pins in the wig.
no.
Girl, when I tell you this shit almost scalped me bald, it really did. Julia hears me screaming, and she I think for a second you were like, oh no, she's so scared. But then right after, I was like, my wig!
I got to write it 3 times in a row. So
Oh
I
my
was
God.
making the queue again, and I see you like take off. And I turned to Zoe. I'm like, oh my god, the wig! We were
The wig. I was scalped, girl.
hysterical.
I was scalped. Anyway, this is not about my trepidations with roller coasters. Yeah, this is me still grieving with the fact that Disneyland Paris is not gonna have. That's so shitty.
So sad.
Oh my god,
Okay.
that's really so disappointing. But whatever. R.I.P. to Big P Paris.
Yeah. Sorry to my former employer.
Sorry for spilling the beans. It was eventually going to come out. We're going to steer back. Hopefully, we're going to stay on track to your cosplay journey.
Yeah.
We'll condense it to specifically Star Wars. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was one of your first Star Wars cosplays Rey, or was it like a Padme or a?
Yes, it was. I did a Padme closet cosplay.
Okay.
In 2021.
Okay.
And I also did a Rey one that I actually didn't film a lot. I filmed a bunch of the Padme, but yeah,
Okay.
that was my first one.
Which Padme was it?
It was the meadow dress.
Oh, I love that one. I really
That's
want a
very
cosplay
cute.
one.
Dress in my closet that kind of had that same pattern.
And did you go all the way with like the hair and all
I
that?
did, yes.
That's so cute. I'm very curious because as a fellow curly haired girly, putting your hair into different styles and
Yeah.
wigs, I kind of just stuff everything until I look like an egg. I would love to know this is my first cosplay question. I would love to know what your techniques are when it comes to when you decide to go natural, if you ever have. I'm not too
Yeah.
sure if you have, versus when you do specific hairstyles / any type of wig.
Yeah, so the few that I've actually gone natural for are Padme.
Okay.
And I want to do probably the meadow dress or whatever her cosplays next year, and I'll definitely use my natural hair for it.
Sure, yeah.
She's a curly hair queen.
Yes.
And I love what she is. That's why, I always.
The only queen who will brush through that curly hair.
Oh
George
my
Lucas,
God.
I still have a bone to pick with you, brother.
I was gonna say when I was younger, the minute I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, she has hair like mine. But then I
Right.
see her with the comb, and then that back of my mind, I hear my mom say, never brush your curly hair.
Never ever do that. What's
Hey, why would you do that?
You know what's more? I feel like it would have been so much more realistic if do you know that scene in The Princess Diaries when she's getting her makeover?
Yes. The brush.
Paolo breaks his brush.
Oh
my god.
It just, that's the more realistic version. And I wouldn't have such a bone to pick with George Lucas if that's how the scene went.
It's fake and in space.
You're right. And there's no underwear, apparently. So,
Apparently.
but yeah, so your techniques, not brushing through your hair. And
And I did Wanda's more of her comic look, and I used my natural hair for it.
right, yes.
I used my natural hair for Wanda.
Girl, any cosplay you get to use your hair. I do it more like 90%. I do natural hair. However, I prefer it so much more than wigs.
Yeah, but mainly it's wigs.
Yeah.
Especially with all the Star Wars characters.
And you just make it look so good. There's so many
I was always
wigs.
curious how
Yeah.
you do it because my hair is not curly. Well, it's wavy, but it's
Yeah.
I have a lot of hair long.
Yeah.
So I'm just I find it so there's so much trouble with it.
Yeah, I literally just combed through it and put in very tight French braids. Pinning it up and putting the wig cap. That's basically all I do.
Yeah.
Just trying to get my hair as tight as possible in there because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of it.
Yes. How many pins do you say you would minimum you must use?
Honestly, it's only probably 6. So I
Okay.
usually put 2 on the top of for each braid on the top of my head, and then usually 1 or 2 under the braids. But usually I get the braids tight enough that it's able to all be contained.
Do you just do one big cap? Do you just do one big
Yes.
cap?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Which Star Wars specific wig do you feel like is the most is the most of a hassle for you, and which one's the least of a hassle for you?
So the one that is more of a hassle is Leia because it's styled from just a brown wig that I have.
Right.
And
Okay.
I just put a bunch of pins in that to make her space buns.
Oh, yes.
And then I put I put a net over the buns to do it.
Okay.
And from the couple times I've worn it, I'm about to wear her to a con in about 2 weeks.
Ooh,
so
exciting.
It stays.
Yeah.
But the first time trial and error was filming and the buns were falling out, so that was a bit of a hassle.
Ooh,
But
okay.
then my easiest is Bo-Katan because
that little bob.
the
Yeah.
headband. I don't even need to glue the wig down or anything.
Oh,
and
I
it
love
stays.
that.
It's so nice. It's so nice, but the headband gives me a headache after a little while.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
What is it made out of? Is it just like an elastic thing or?
It's an elastic thing. It's one that I got from Amazon
Oh, okay.
a long time ago, and I actually probably am going to get a new one soon because it's just like a little bit too thick with the
Sure.
wig,
Okay.
but still looks good. So
Yeah, that bob
really
is
good.
it's so
fire,
easy.
girl.
It's so easy to put on.
Do you ever just catch yourself just like bobbing like yeah? Oh my god.
Is that like a Nicki Minaj song? That was Barb.
Oh
Just,
yeah.
like,
Do you ever do
these-
that move? Are you fucking with the bar?
with the bob?
Whatever. However that song
Oh my God.
goes. Well, since we're steering more into like what it takes to put together a cosplay, I want to know, besides wigs and styling and all that, where do you kind of begin to make your things, and where do you like outsource your materials and outfits and things like that?
So a lot of the time, I just have this huge list of cos plans.
Yes. As one does, yeah.
As one does. And usually when I'm picking, like for Bo-Katan, actually, just an example.
Yeah.
During Mando season 3 last year, I was like, oh, we need to do her. So I did a closet cosplay of her.
I feel like I remember that in a very distant memory. Yeah.
And that was like with the headband I had from Amazon, just like a couple of Wanda pieces I had.
Yes.
I just kind of put that together. It was an old Wanda wig that I wasn't using anymore. Just cut it more into a bob. But kind of go from there. Kind of if I'm like really interested in something or it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And then usually I'll a lot of times on Facebook, there's great Facebook groups that people put resources for different characters or where to find stuff. I'll do a lot of research. A lot of stuff, I'm not the best sewer, so a lot of stuff I buy and modify, or I see if someone's selling it secondhand. Like a lot of my pieces for Hera actually were secondhand, and then I got.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into Hera in a hot second for sure. Yeah.
But I go from there, and then. Usually for wigs, I buy base wigs. I usually style all the wigs myself. Some I get very lucky. Wig is Fashion was selling a Bo-Katan specific wig.
Oh, okay.
Right at the timing. And actually, I got very lucky with the Bo-Katan cosplay in general because I was like, oh, I want to do an armor build, but I'm not really skilled in that yet. So maybe I should get the flight suit and get one of the ones that have like a fake armor piece on it, and then like eventually do the armor. But then I entered a contest from Sim Cosplay and I won a Bo-Katan costume.
What?
So I got very lucky.
Shout out to Big Ass to Sim Cosplay.
So after my contracted brand, my Bo-Katan cosplay was waiting for me.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
Yeah, so I got very lucky with that.
Nice.
But from there, and I've been doing some research on stuff for Bo for a while, is that I
Right.
actually want to get 3D printed armor and sand it and paint it. And a lot of stuff I actually made with the goggles and other props for Hera. I learned how to do those skills. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I could do a step above that and actually work on armor pieces.
That's exciting.
Oh my goodness. That's so wow. I love that this is like a mixture of like just happenstance, like you're checking Facebook or you're just winning competitions online, like and then a lot of, manual labor. So let's get into Hera. First of all, fucking amazing.
Thank you so much.
Like for a second I was like, Mary Elizabeth Winstead who? Because what? It was just every detail that you could possibly capture from a cartoon character or animated character, you've done. which is nuts. The headpieces and the goggles and the outfit and the makeup and the eyes. Oh my God, let's get into the makeup first because to obviously I don't think anybody could replicate an animated character because animated characters do not have realistic features that humans do. But there's something about your Hera, your makeup look in specific that really feels like it just bounced off of the screen. So let's talk about products. Let's talk about the process.
Yeah.
What kind of references did you use when you were putting together her makeup look?
Yeah, so a lot for that. I went to I'm in a Hera cosplay Facebook group, and
it's all the Facebook groups, huh? I feel like I'm missing out.
Yes.
I feel like I thought that the cosplay community was all on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, I'm in a Ray one.
Facebook.
Well, Ray cosplay Facebook group?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. There's one for like every character. Like the reason I found one was because I was in a Wanda cosplay group before Facebook.
What?
And
Wow.
that's actually where I got a lot of my deck of pieces resale was from people in that group who wore them a couple of times and then were selling them, and they're just great resources.
Wow, I'm missing all the fun on Facebook. Yeah, wow. But yeah, makeup.
Yeah, so I have sensitive skin, so it's hard. It's hard for me to do heavy makeup sometimes. So Hera's my dream cosplay for.
Oh, and it shows, girl. It shows. It is.
Time.
Yeah.
I got into Rebels during the COVID times.
Yes.
I was watching. Should I talk about my Rebels journey?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. I feel like that contributes. And it contributes a lot to your Hera journey. So of course, go for it.
So after Rise of Skywalker, I was like, I should finally watch the Clone Wars, and my brother started watching it because I mentioned before we were watching episodes when I was younger, but I was watching them so out of order, so like here and there that I didn't really know what was happening besides Ahsoka existed and there were clones.
Yeah.
And Anakin and everyone were there.
Yeah.
So at the end of 2019, after I saw Rise of Skywalker, I actually sat down and finally started watching Clone Wars. And then season 7 of Clone Wars was coming out, and I caught up, I think, right when the season was starting.
Oh, wow, okay.
And at that time, my brother already watched through Clone Wars, and then COVID happened, and I went back home with my family, and my brother says to me, you have to watch Rebels, you're absolutely going to love it. And I was like, what's Rebels?
What are you talking about?
The voices we didn't know at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
And I
said,
the Kanan and Ezra people, and he said, yes, it's them. They're in a show. And I was like, okay, cool.
Okay, sure, I'll look into it.
And it's like, there's characters from Clone Wars in it. And I was like, already like really invested, like falling in love with Clone Wars, falling in love with Ahsoka, falling in love with Bo, falling in love with like everyone there. And he's like, I think you're going to like it better than Clone Wars. Like, well, that's pretty hard to do because I'm in love with Clone Wars right now.
It's an elite group as well. To the Rebels, the Rebels fans who prefer that over Clone Wars. It's a very elite group, I might say. And I feel like I teeter back and forth. Like I love them both, of course. They're both great shows. But like Rebels, sometimes I'm just like, there's something about it that just like it's so next level.
So I was watching, I got all caught up with Clone Wars, and then I started watching Rebels, and I just fell in love.
Yeah, as one does,
I just fell in love, especially with Hera. She came on screen, I was like, oh my God.
She's incredible.
I was like, that's me. Like, I just like connected with her immediately. Just how she's this strong leader but so compassionate and kind and loves just everyone around her. Like, what an incredible role model to have for women. So I started falling in love with Rebels, and I was watching that in the last season of Clone Wars at the same time.
Oh, that's a lot of emotions at once.
So this is what happened. Is that
I'm excited
we
now.
get to the second to last episode of Clone Wars season 7. So, Order 66 is happening.
Yes.
That same day, I watched the season 2 finale of Rebels. So I had to. So in the same day, I watched Order 66 happening to Ahsoka Tano, Kanan Jarrus getting blinded, and Darth Vader and Ahsoka having their fight. And I literally said, I cannot watch the rest of the show for at least another 3 weeks because now
I need 3 business weeks to reflect and step back. Yeah.
Because I was like, I know what I have to witness next week in Clone Wars. I need to take a break. So I watched the finale of Clone Wars, and then I was like, okay, I need to process all that and just watch the rest of Rebels. And of course, I always say this to all my friends who I get in troubles, which has been many. Some people are like, oh, season 1, it's like silly. I'm like, no, keep watching. I'm like,
This is a setup, actually. You gotta wait.
And then season 2 happens.
Because it kicks in,
And the people who know Clone Wars are like, oh, Ahsoka's here, oh, Rex is here. They're starting to like fall in love with some of the Ghost Crew characters.
Yeah.
And then this like midway season 2 happens, and all this stuff is happening. The honorable ones.
Yes.
Ever finding out his parents are dead. Of course, the season 2 finale, and then season 3 and 4 just going into like.
Yeah, and then those same people are like, wow, remember when this show was just about like catching me in the runs? And like, yeah, you miss it now, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Remember we're going on silly little missions with ones and stopping Chopper from
committing more war crimes. Yeah, like now you miss it, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now get ready for some of the saddest shit.
Ooh.
A lot of people want to dismiss like the animated shows all the time, and then they actually watch and they're like, oh.
Girl, I was bawling at the end of Clone Wars. Like that's something I will, I've cried over.
And I actually said this on my own podcast, was something that's really amazing about Rebels, and I think it gives it an advantage over Clone Wars, is that you're with the same 6 characters for the whole show.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you really don't see a lot of other characters in Star Wars get the development and plot line
Absolutely.
they do, because it's about them.
Yes.
So like you know more about them probably than a lot of characters that are in Clone Wars who have arcs.
That's just the tea. Clock that tea. You got it on the more like it. There's just so much more opportunity to see an actual growth, even though it's a collective group of people. But you see them individually grow into leaders and fighters and just there's just so much more ample space to see an arc.
And just with this whole concept of found family. And
that's their bread and butter.
Dark time and the themes of art and everything about it. I feel that it's a show that everyone sees themselves in at least one of the characters.
Exactly, because there's such a it's an eclectic mix of people in this Ghost Crew too that somehow works so harmoniously within each other. Like there's no way you could not relate to at least one of them throughout the crew. So
needless to say, I fell in love, and then I watched the show countless times after that.
It's your emotional support show.
It's my emotional support show. It's somehow become the tradition now that I rewatch it, whether intended or not, every time before I go off on a contract now, because I'm doing another rewatch now.
Okay. Yes.
And I also rewatched it both times before I went to France.
Oh,
so I think
wow.
It just that I rewatch it when
something big is happening.
It's comforting.
But it's comfort.
Yeah.
It's the show I always turn to. Like it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Do you just watch like the filler episodes, or do you watch like
the
ones?
thing.
Okay.
That's the real way. That's real commitment for sure.
Yeah.
You gotta get a little heartbreak in there.
Yeah, there's not a break in there. I have to go through all the emotions. I have to go through Kanan dying.
No.
Unfortunately, oh my man.
Like it's coming, but you still are just start crying.
And do you feel like every time you rewatch it, it's gonna end in a different way?
I wish. Especially after I read A New Dawn, which is the prequel book about Hera. And after reading that, I was like, maybe this will change the ending this time. They're so happy, and they're just their adventures are just starting.
Yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong from here.
They're so goddamn cute together. I think the ending's gonna change this time.
Yeah, that's for sure this time. Everything's gonna work out in their favor.
Just turn it off with the
self-care.
I made a TikTok like that, I think right when I started making TikToks. I was like, how to like cure sadness, and it's like the scene of them kissing right before he dies, and then I just shut the laptop.
That's the end.
That is it.
They're happy together. That's all we need to know. Well, that's a great transition because you just mentioned TikTok and how you've been making videos on TikTok for a while. How do you feel the reception was when you put out your Hera cosplay for the first time? You can talk about Instagram too, because I feel like Instagram is more of a, I don't know how to explain it, but there's more of an avenue over there to kind of get your stuff seen.
There's more of there's more of a community on Instagram than Finding.
Yeah.
It's really nice, but the reception was literally overwhelming.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Walk us through it, girl. Walk us through it.
Went to work.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I went to go see a show with my friend that night, and then like opened TikTok and Instagram, was just like
blowing up.
Notifications.
Yeah.
I think also just because I've been talking about this cosplay for a long time. Since literally probably I first started cosplaying. People would ask me, like, what's your dream cosplay? I said, Hera Syndulla is my dream cosplay. She'll be coming at some time whenever I figure out
whenever everything comes together.
Build. Like, I never did face painting before.
Yeah.
I never did like our whole headpiece.
And that's a whole journey within itself. Sorry, I think I just spit on you.
Where to
smells some spit. I felt spit. I just did it again. Sorry, I did not. Okay, keep going.
Like, I didn't even know at that point what the resources would be.
Yeah.
But actually, because the Ahsoka show was coming out last year.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
I gotta do it. And luckily, because of one of the Facebook groups, someone was selling a Hera season 1 season 1 and 2. Her album season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's my time.
It's now or never.
I was about to leave for France too. I was like, I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna get it. I'm like, it's now or never. This is a sign. I need to get this and start on this now. This will be my project for everything else once I come back from France. And
I love that moment. Cosplayer to cosplayer. I love that moment when you're like, it's time to do this. I'm doing this right now. So, I felt that with a couple of characters. I feel like I felt that like once or twice with like whatever version of Poe Dameron I've done and like Ahsoka Tano. Even though Ahsoka is also quite the hassle, like the headpiece and face makeup and all. There's like a moment where you're just like, I gotta do it. Like, I want to do it now, and it's like if I don't do it now, like I'm just not gonna be satisfied. Like I gotta do it.
And like there was some hesitancy there because
of course,
like she's my favorite Star Wars character, probably my favorite character ever. And I was like, what if it doesn't live up to?
I was gonna say that. Like, what? How did you feel about that?
So just like I was like, I have to do it, and I have enough resources and people I know who also cosplay her and also do face paint cosplays that could help me out with this. So I was like, we're just gonna do it.
I've never done like a full face or like anything crazy like that, like Ahsoka.
Yeah, it's a lot.
How does it feel, like the paint? Does it just like
I've
just done markings and stuff?
Yeah, which I feel like you have.
Actually, no, I'm lying. I did I was a whole clown.
Yeah.
On Halloween.
Yeah, I feel like you have like a good understanding on it, but like for the most part, sometimes it's like really crusty. I don't know if
I trial and error a lot.
Oh boy!
I did a test.
I feel like I remember seeing that test, and it was pretty good.
Yeah,
so you started off really strong already.
For my first test, it was good, and just like that was just a project asking every Hera cosplayer.
Yes.
Hey, what brush do you use? What is the
same with Ahsoka? I was asking everybody like, what brand of orange paint do you use? This and this and this.
And that's where I was talking about before. I have very sensitive skin, so I was like, what would be the best? And everyone said the Mehron water-based paint.
Yeah.
It worked.
It's flawless. It looks amazing.
It was great. And after that first time, it was a lot of trial and error. I was like, do I set it with powder? Do I set it with setting spray?
Right.
I thought the powder made it feel a bit
caked
heavy.
up. Yeah.
So I just did this. The next time I did it, I just did the setting spray, and it was great.
Okay.
I learned a lot about trying to not letting it crease and putting on a lot of primer.
Okay,
lash lines and smiling when I do the makeup so it doesn't get stuck in your lash.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I was about to say that's a really good hack. I'm always like, you know what I mean? I'm putting on my warrior face because I'm trying to not mess up. But like, what does smiling? How does that help exactly?
So you put on the face paint and you're just kind of like doing it with just like your neutral face. The moment you smile, it's just start cracking in your lash lines.
Okay.
So that's what I did. So when I did my first filming as Hera, I did it and like it was cracking. It also was very late at night when I was filming. As cosplayers film late at night.
Girl, what is it about cosplaying at 1 a.m. that just hits so right but so wrong?
Like I was like living my best life.
With what?
With Hunter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
What is it about? Knocking my door. I was like, I may do Hera today. And he's like, okay. And then he knocks on my door. It's like 11. I'm like half green. He's like, oh, you're doing it.
Oh my, yeah.
I'm half green. You're green.
You're green. I'm gonna film her before I leave. I'm making him do that TikTok with me.
Wait, which audio
from
is this?
Wicked
Wicked trailer.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
I
smart.
was like, you're green. Oh my God, you're doing hair. Fine, you're doing the full thing.
Oh yeah, no, this is a very good TikTok. You gotta make sure you write that down. You have to do that one.
Absolutely. So when I was filming, it just started cracking. Every time I moved my mouth, I just felt it cracking. So then I went to KatsuCon a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try smiling and putting it on, and then it just went flawlessly on.
Wow, this sounds like witchcraft, but it's also so simple. Like I never thought about it.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I think that's the trick now is that I just have to just like move my mouth around while doing a smile,
Sure.
something so it does not get caught in my smile lines. And
Sure. But it's a fantastic hack, and it just pays off so well. It looks amazing.
So most of the products I use that are the blushy eyeshadow, everything are pharmacies or products.
Yeah.
But they're great. I was just looking for a lot with green makeup you have to use things that complemented warm colors, pinks.
Okay.
Kind of warmer browns that really complements.
Yeah,
green.
I noticed that you do like a little blush that like really pops everything out. Oh, I remember what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask now that speaking of things that pop out, the contacts. The contacts I use. First of all, where are they from?
They're from Pinky Paradise.
Ooh, interesting. Sponsor her.
They have great contacts and prescription, which is great for me.
I was about to say, do you wear them prescribed? You're able to still see? Okay.
And I use those for my Wandas, my Bo-Katan, and hair. They just look so well.
No, they look
great.
Really good.
Yeah, they're so natural, so cute.
Yeah,
like,
I want to go with a more natural.
Yeah. Then like.
Certain show. I don't want to say anything bad. But
shade.
Yeah, I want to go with more of the muted green that it looks like an animation versus kind of like a very like bright green blue.
And now I want to get into the headpiece of Hera.
Yes.
Walk us through the process of that because I'm sure it was not easy.
So I got my headpiece commissioned from J-Dust Props. They're on Etsy.
Ooh, okay, cool.
And they make a lot of different Laku. They do Hera, they do AL Secure, they do custom ones. They're
fun.
incredible. But I was doing research, came across them, knew some other cosplayers that got Laku made by them, and I ordered it, and it took about 4 months to get to me, and they came out so incredible. Everything's made by hand. They hand paint the tattoos on them.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh, it came out great, and they're actually very comfy to wear.
Really? What's the material?
So it's a latex material.
Okay.
It kind of fits like a swim cap on your head.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So it's like not gonna fall off.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
gonna fall.
okay.
Yeah, it's really like sucked on your head.
There's a lot of suction on that thing, I imagine.
So that's the wig cap, and then it's stuffed with like those bead things.
Sure.
and
Okay. Yeah.
A little bit of foam, but it's
So it gives it
very
the movement,
comfy.
right? Yeah, okay.
Like that's the thing I love about the J-Dust Props Laku is that they're able to move a bit, and that's like something with Hera and animation you see here. The Laku move quite a bit, and it gives that really nice effect. But what was I saying?
Laku headpiece.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's very comfy to wear. I wore it for about 12 hours at KatsuCon, and I
Hold on. 12 hours? Girl, I barely last 2 hours with my Ahsoka headpiece, and that shit is like a neck pillow. That's insane.
So yeah, I felt fine the whole day. Literally,
Jeez.
the only time it felt a bit comfortable was at the end of the day. I had a couple drinks in me, and
The blood pressure was like pulsating in your cranium. And that's when I was like, "Ooh, it's over."
My ears felt a little sore. Just
Sure.
That it sits on the top of my ears, and also there's the light cap, and then the goggles. The goggles.
Oh yes, the goggles. The goggles are a great addition too. They look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the part that I actually like painted and sanded.
Yes, I remember the process. Yeah.
That was I went through quite a journey with that because I found out I had a wrong piece halfway through, and the buyer bought it from was very nice and sent me a replacement piece. Hyperspace Props, you're awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really helpful when people, the people who sell these types of things are really like their customer service is like really just very transparent and understanding.
And, like, the pieces weren't fitting together, and I was like, "What is wrong?" And they said, "Oh, this piece is not supposed to be this big." So I had to restart the goggles again, but they came
But
out
it's all
great.
worth it. It's
And
really
I
all
started
worth
2 months
it.
before the con happened, which was good. And I had
Yeah.
enough time to do filming before the con and everything.
Yeah.
But I put the goggles on to the flight cap with magnets.
Ooh, that's a smart idea.
So the magnets do sit about where the laku sit on my ears. One of the magnets, I have two
okay.
magnets in there. They're very strong magnets.
Wow.
But that kind of pressure from that.
Do you use like industrial magnets or like?
Yeah, industrial magnets.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, industrial magnets are no joke. Okay.
12 hours.
No joke.
So after 12 hours, there's a little pressure there, but I felt fine. I
Wow.
felt fine.
Wow, that's amazing. So I wanted to go back to kind of like the reception that you felt when you were sharing Hera for the first time. What did you anticipate, and how different was it from what you actually received online and in person?
Yeah, so I knew that like I've been talking about this cosplay hyping up
Yeah.
for such a long time. So I knew that people were waiting for me to drop the completed
Yeah,
thing.
the anticipation was was
that
very
is
much there.
Documenting from pretty much when I got the base costume in July, from my whole process of ordering the laku, from getting the 3D print stuff and making. So I wanted to document every single piece of making that, because it was really the first time I made something like that. I made things with 3D printed prints and sanded it myself and painted it. So I wanted to document that, also because like I find it really helpful when cosplayers do that, because a lot of things I learned about the characters I cosplay and the specific pieces came from other cosplayers.
Through others,
so, like,
through your peers.
progress. And I think that's something in the community that needs to be embraced more, is sharing your knowledge.
Gatekeeping in the
sharing
cosplay community is ugly.
Yeah.
Don't ever do it.
share your skills, because
Yeah.
there are resources out there, but sometimes you just need to like see that one thing and see another cosplayer do it and say, oh, that's like this one missing piece I need. That's the standing tool I need.
Oh, it's so
That's the
satisfying
thing
when you're finding like, oh, this all makes sense now.
Right.
Yeah,
It could also inspire like another way to build.
Yeah.
So that's happened to me before.
Oh, sure.
Same. Like that's actually what I got the idea with the magnets from, was someone had a picture of their Hera goggles with the magnets and also their boot covers, and I was like, that's genius, because I couldn't figure out a way how to get the goggles and the boot covers on. I'm just gonna use magnets, and it worked out so well.
Yeah.
But so I was like, I know like I have like a lot of Star Wars
Mutuals and followers. Yeah.
but also I was doing Marvel stuff for a long time, so I'm like, I don't know, like what's gonna happen. And then I posted it, and then it just went insane. Like
As it should.
Everybody clapped. People died.
Yeah.
People
We were moved.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, like
The Renaissance.
I usually don't really care about the numbers on things, but just like my follower accounts across my social media is just like jumped.
Oh,
And
yeah, as it
I was,
should.
like, finding so many new mutuals and so many.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best part. That's the best
So I
part.
ended up meeting at KatsuCon.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Star Wars cosplayers that like in those 2 weeks I just like connected with. I was like, oh my gosh, you're going to KatsuCon. Hello. I am also going to be there. So that's like always the best.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And that's also really like, it's such a genuine way to like find others, whether it's online or in person. Because I remember there was this one time, I think it was Celebration in Anaheim in 2022, where I was dressed up as Ahsoka, as Rebels Ahsoka, and I had another Ahsoka, I think it was a Mandalorian Ahsoka, who came up to me and she gave me like a little like she gave me that on like a little like I think it was like a bracelet or something, and then she told she told me, we have a Facebook group, and I can't remember the name.
Facebook group.
I joined a cosplay Facebook group. It's wonderful.
I don't. Oh my god! For the life of me, I do not remember the name. But she told me the name and everything. She's like, "Oh, it's this and this and this. Find us on Facebook." Blah blah. And I was like, "Phenomenal! I will remember that." She did not remember that. Bro was not listening. I was so upset with myself. But the reason I bring this up is because, you know, those types of mini genuine interactions really do mean the world, and they go so far.
Really do.
Because meeting people in person at cons in specific is so like, obviously we're all in this big space because we all share, you know, the same interests, but it can be intimidating going out into it's you're really putting yourself out there, whether you're in cosplay or not, you know, whether you're in a group of people who like the same things that you're going for. So it's really like, it's really heartwarming when you find people who are of your kind.
And especially the Hera cosplayers I found just through the process of doing has
Yes.
been the best. And I think the moment that just like everything just like hit, I was like, oh my god, was when Vanessa Marshall.
Let's get into it. I knew we wanted to talk about this. Yes. So Vanessa Marshall is the voice actress for Hera Syndulla in the animated series. So please talk about your interactions with her and just her perception of you.
So a friend of mine, Sam, who's also a Hera cosplayer, reached out to me in December and said, hey, I'm making a Christmas screening video for Vanessa, and I'm getting some Hera fans and cosplayers. Do you want to be a part of it? And I was like, oh my god, absolutely yes.
So cute.
So we made this video for Vanessa, and Sam sent it to her on Christmas, and Vanessa sent us all a video, like, so moved by it, and I was like, I think there was like Hera Syndulla just like sent us a voicemail.
That's so sweet.
It was so sweet. Like, she's just like such a kind woman.
I can only imagine.
I'm like, that is Hera in real life.
No, literally, like it's the fact that like all of that bleeds into her voice and her voice alone. Like you don't need to see her face first to know how much she feels and is passionate about a character like Hera. Like that's so. How did that go when you guys got to like interact?
So that was insane, and we actually became mutuals on socials from that.
Oh, so you guys were friends now. You're best friends with Hera Syndulla?
Yes.
Wow, you heard it here first, folks.
And so then, about a week before KatsuCon, Sam reached out to me again, and we have a whole group chat going of a bunch of Hera cosplayers, just like support and love and everything. It's so wonderful.
Nice.
And she messages us and says, Vanessa's doing a charity live stream for the National Down Syndrome Foundation.
Wow.
And Vanessa Marshall does these weekly live streams, and she usually picks an organization to donate money to, and that's like absolutely wonderful using a platform for amazing causes. And it was in honor of a Hera cosplayer whose name is Indy Speeder, and she's
so sweet.
Yeah, she's so sweet. So the fundraiser was in honor of her for the National Down Syndrome Foundation, and Sam invited us to come join her and Vanessa to talk about Hera and our cosplay. So this was all happening as well. The live stream was happening when I was in the car back from KatsuCon. We hit traffic, so I didn't make it home in time.
Oh, shit.
And we were originally supposed to do it on Zoom, but then there was technical difficulties, so she just FaceTimed all of us in.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like, okay, my face is gonna be shown so I could do this from the car.
Yes.
But a couple of us went on and we talked to Vanessa about our cosplays and Hera and how much we love Hera and Rebels. And Vanessa actually saw my Hera cosplay when I first posted it, so she like already knew about my cosplay.
I would cry.
Oh, I would do backflips, honestly. I would.
And I was sitting in the car, and my friends were driving, and it was before they even brought us on. They called us in.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and they were going through just like the list of everyone who'd be joining.
Ooh.
And they started talking about my cosplay, and Vanessa was like, it looks like she like came out of the animated film.
See, we share something in common, Vanessa. I agree. Oh my god,
she looks like animated Hera. It's like so spot on. I was like, hello.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
that's it.
Life just got made.
Peaked. Yeah, peaked.
This
is over.
My entire life just got made. I was like, oh my god.
Nobody else can compete. It's over.
Like that whole weekend of just like wearing her to con and just like debuting her for the first time like a week before that, I was like, this is surreal. And then actually getting to talk to her.
How full circle does that feel?
So full circle.
Oh.
Like, I would have never thought when I watched Rebels 4 years ago, not even knowing what this show was about, and then, like, falling in love with it, to now, like, having contact with the voice actress of my favorite characters, just so incredible.
Like, I feel like sometimes, as, like, a creative in general, there's so many
like there's just obviously we can't, you know, see into the future and all that, but there's like this hope that of course that you're gonna reach people who have similar interests to you, but there's never the expectation that it's gonna reach heights that are like just beyond you, beyond your mind, body, and soul. You know what I mean? So like when those types of things happen, it's really just like, wow, I peaked. I can't do much more than this. It's my best work.
And I'm like, it's so special how shows like this and Star Wars in general can just bring people together and just in the craziest ways.
Literally.
It just means so much to you. And I think it's just like having that experience and also it just being for a good cause and like it's such like a Hera way too. Like just like knowing that like I got to talk to her and like to have this benefit something was just incredible to be a part of.
Yeah, I really feel like there's nothing more you can ask for when it comes to that. And it's like people say never meet your heroes and this and this and this, but like I feel like that is just it's just so exemplary of how passionate she is as an actress as well as a human being. Like just an overall artist. Like you feel justified of like not that you stan this person, but like, oh, I fully do support this person, like all around. You know what I mean?
And I think I said to a friend a couple months ago, I said, because I really don't like freak out with meeting like celebrities.
Sure, yeah.
Also because I like work in the entertainment industry. I
exactly.
Work with a lot of people.
You know how to keep it professional for sure.
But I was like, I think the two people that I would actually like probably cry or like freak out meeting, talking to would be Vanessa Marshall and Ashley Eckstein.
Yeah. And you're halfway there. You're halfway there. Yeah. So it's only a matter of time until you really just peak and actually go to your full potential.
We have to see when she's like going to be at the next convention.
I know.
For sure. Exactly. Well, we are going to steer into, since we've been just so Hera focused and Rebels focused, we are going to steer into a little game I like to call Trivia with Olivia.
I love the name.
I came up with it 2 hours ago. Fun fact. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do Trivia with Olivia. We're going to see and test how well you know your Rebels / mostly Hera fun facts. Are you ready to go?
I'm nervous.
No need to be nervous. Let's just channel Vanessa's energy and Hera's energy, and her knowledable energy. Question number 1. I feel like I don't want to show the
answers on the back.
Yeah. So, no. Here we go. Question number 1. We're gonna start off easy. I feel like I'm gonna ease you into it because I feel like none of these are too harsh or like too obscure. And again, I feel like
There was one that you told me, and I was like, what?
Well, who's a Hera superfan out of all three of us?
That's true.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I have some confidence in Olivia. For 1,000 points. No, I'm kidding. We'll start off easy. Question number 1. What are the government and nicknames of Hera's trusty droid?
Say that. The government?
Yeah, like his like like the programmed droid unit name and the
Chopper C1-1OP.
There he is. It's
Yay.
Chopper, our favorite, and I'm wearing him on my shirt today.
Yes.
Thank you to Julia for getting me this for Christmas. Do you want to tell them real quick where you got this from?
I love a fan of shop. They have great Rebels merch.
Yes, and
this is one of them.
Yeah, this as well over here.
The family stone.
And the sticker.
The sticker.
Super
this
cute.
little wooden
device
ornament. My Loth Cat pin.
Yes.
And my chopper.
We gotta show him off. We gotta show him off this little guy.
We are all rebels today.
I wish I would have worn my Hera claw clip today.
Oh, that would have been
the claw.
Oh, I have a little
the Hera tie.
There we go. Everything is Ooh, we stand.
Happy Rebels Remembered Day.
Yeah, we are 1 for 1. Here we go. Okay. Question number 2. What language is Hera's accent based off of?
French.
There we go. French.
Slay.
Here it is. Because Vanessa Marshall does in fact know how to speak French, correct? Yeah, she's exactly. There you go. And I don't remember exactly whose idea it was. Was it hers or like one of the directors of Rebels who was like, "Hey, can you like put on a French accent for us just for funsies?"
Dave.
I think it was
like,
was it really? Was it
I don't know.
Oh.
Dave was like,
originally they were toying with the idea of does Hera speak with the French accent the whole time, or did she did
grow
she
out of it.
grow out of it? And they went
interesting.
with that because I think they were
Hera knows how to code switch for
Yeah.
sure.
But like the episode when she goes into that French accent.
Yes,
it's
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
And no, yeah, something, yeah, flips or switches, or switch just flips, excuse me. But yeah, it's I find that really interesting that she was able to incorporate something that she knows in her own
Right.
life
It's
into
really
into her own character. 2 for 2. How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident?
There's two more, right?
Yes, we have
Two
2
more.
more.
Okay.
So how would that grading system go? Would it be like a 25, 50, 75, and 100?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my God, I know how to do math.
Math.
Question number 3.
All right.
What is the name of Hera's family heirloom?
The Calicori.
There she is. You got it. And I recently remembered that she did add a part of Kanan
She did add a part of Kanan.
after his passing, which really tugs at the heart. I
That
know.
whole scene with Chopper there too, and holding her hand. Oh,
And his little claw hand. Oh my God.
You just left me.
I'm sorry.
it's Chopper's idea to put the piece on there.
Oh, so sweet. So
Calicori's
sweet.
also in Galaxy's Edge.
That is
in,
true. I feel like
Dr. Undar's.
It took me about like 3 times to notice. I had a cast member. We were just talking to a cast member, and she's like, "Do you watch Rebels?" I was like, "Of course I
Do I watch Rebels?
She said,
Do I have news for you?
She said, "There's Ezra's helmet," and then she goes, "Look over there," and I said, "You can't tell me this right now." I said, "Is that Hera's Calicori?" She said, "Yes," and the Kanan piece is on it. And I was like, "I'm going to fall to my knees in the middle of Dr.
Like you're worshiping, like you're in a temple just worshiping.
That's crazy.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, that always puts some tears in my eyes. But I
Yeah.
think it's a really, and like that whole scene, I can't recall the name of the episode, but that scene between her and, oh my gosh, what's the villain's name? Thrawn.
Yeah,
Thank
with
you. When he,
Valkyrie.
yeah.
Oh,
They're discussing it as an RP.
disrespectful.
Absolute emotional torment from that man. I wanted to jump through that screen.
Same.
Ooh.
Catch these hands.
Catch them hands, boy. So we are 3 for 3. Here we go. Last question.
more.
I'm trying to throw you in for a loop
curveball.
with this one, a little curveball here, because I didn't even know this.
Neither did I.
But here we go. Let's see if it comes to you.
All right.
Question number 4, final question. During what battle was Hera pregnant with Jason and Nora had given birth to him?
The Battle of Jakku, right?
It is actually
Is
the
it-
Battle of
Scarif.
Scarif. Listen,
I was thinking Scarif.
that actually was my second choice.
Jakku ended.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Jakku
yeah, yeah.
ended.
Yeah.
Scarif.
Had just
One.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, you know your timeline. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Sand planets. Yeah.
no. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, that one was a bit of a curveball,
Yeah,
but you know
it
what? I'll still give it to you anyway because you do know your Hera. You know,
Yes.
Olivia knows her trivia. So you know what? I'll give that point to you anyway. 100 out of 100.
Yay.
You did it. You nailed it. So, I feel like we want to wrap up with I want to just kind of do an overall question about cosplay in general. First, I think the generic part of this will be, what does it mean to you? And how do you, I feel like every cosplayer has their perception of, themselves and how they might come off to others online or in person.
Yeah.
How do you feel perception from others has affected your perception of yourself when it comes to cosplaying in specific?
Yeah. So I think that cosplay it's another art form to put myself into.
Yeah.
And being an actor and being someone who found cosplay during the pandemic, it was really important for me because I just graduated college. I was out of work. There was nothing I could audition. Of course, nothing was happening.
Exactly.
And I got into TikTok, was just kind of making like some fun Star Wars videos. And then I just started finding all these cosplayers, and growing up, being really invested in Halloween, putting 110% into costumes. I always wanted to do stuff like that. I always had a little Pinterest board being like, if I cosplay, went to New York Comic Con, like, what would I do?
Yeah.
And then seeing other people do it online. And
Very
then-
inspiring. It really
Very
lights a fire under your
inspiring.
booty, for sure.
Yeah, I I owe it to like the cosplayers I followed, some who are now like my mutuals and some of my dearest friends back in 2020, early 2021 for really inspiring me. And like I said, it's just another way to express myself, something that I could put my art to and my passion into, and also something that is a hobby and something I could love that's outside my career. Because sometimes I know probably Nicole, you also feel this as an actor. Like we love what we do, but sometimes it's hard to go back and actually really feel a love for it when it's your job.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel that disconnect. Yeah. But with cosplay being just another way to express my art. Yeah. And having it something that's no pressure, something I could do on my own terms, do creative and be whatever I want with it is just so freeing. And I think also part of that is that from the community I'm in, just the way that people perceive me, I think that's giving me a lot more confidence.
Yeah.
And
there's something about it, right? There's something about it. And it's not even the fact that like you're being someone else. It's like it feels more of like you're putting on an extension of yourself,
right?
You know, because I feel like everybody puts a piece of themselves into every cosplay that they do, you know?
And I feel like not to like say this is bad or anything, but like trying to like be on top with like trends, put out as many cosplays as you can. That's a trap you could fall into. And sometimes I felt when I was stuck at sometimes like, do I need to be putting out like the hot thing right now? Yeah. And that I think after my post WandaVision doing every single decade era, I was like, okay, where do I go from here? Yeah. Now that this is not kind of the hot thing anymore. And then that's kind of where I really was like, okay, I love like doing the characters I love and actually like feel my best at doing is the way to go.
And I'll tell you, it shows. It really shows. Like it's not even just like an inward satisfactory thing that you feel inside yourself. It really does come off to all your peers and everybody who follows you. It's when you know, when you know, exactly.
And I've like seen that in other cosplayers too. Is that when you could tell when something is a passion project, is something that really like speaks to them. That's Hera for me. That is Bo-Katan for me. That is a lot of my recent cosplays for me is just from my heart and just something that I really want to be doing. So I think that through all that, it's really given me so much confidence. And also when I, like I said before, finding this during the pandemic, being an actor out of work, finding this as an outlet to do videos like acting with it and just honing my skills in that and making me more confident in that and being right out of school and kind of just like not doing anything for a while. I think that's the main thing for me. It's given me so much confidence.
Yeah, I love that.
And also just like such a wonderful community. Like meeting you guys, of course. Like after
we've been mutuals for a very long time.
Like, I think you two were some of my very first mutuals.
That's crazy. Don't say that.
Like at least from very early on when I started cosplaying.
Wow.
And it's very full circle to be here in the podcast.
It really is. That's insanity. Wow. Oh my god.
It's been a long time coming, I think.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. And we were saying off camera, like, there's so much more. I feel like we could talk about. We could be here for like 5+ hours.
There's so much I could talk about.
So much, but I feel like I think we've covered as much of at least the basis of everything that we wanted to talk about. And since you were bringing up recent cosplays, which have been very incredible and amazing and very well done, what do we have any ideas or teasers for anything?
Because I don't know about you, but I have like a long list of cos plans. So I'm assuming you also.
So I'm actually going to be away for the rest of the year.
Yes.
We'll talk about
Can we get into that? Yes.
So the like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, of course we wanted to have Olivia on because we respect and admire you so much as a creator, as a Star Wars fan, and you are New York based, so we would love to have as many in-person guests as possible. But the second reason that we needed you urgently
like today,
like this week, was because you have landed a contract with
Disney Cruise Line.
Yay, that's so exciting.
I'm going to be a singer and actor on the main stage. I'm going to be playing Flounder and the Little Mermaid.
Oh, so
and
cute.
Ensemble in their other shows.
Oh my God.
Love that.
The Disney Wish. I don't know if I said that. Yeah, I'll be on Disney Wish.
Oh.
I'll be on contract for 9 months. I'm going to Toronto next week to start rehearsals.
Miss
So
Girl.
I'm rehearsing on land for 2.5 months, and then in May I get on the boat, and I'm there till December performing. So yeah, so I will be very busy for the next 9 months.
Book busy and blessed, girl. Good for you.
So exciting,
Period.
yeah.
That's
This is my
amazing.
last week in New York at the time of filming this.
And look, she's spending her time with us.
We need to go on this cruise.
Yeah, well, we should.
gonna
We should.
book-
Yeah, we're gonna book a trip to this cruise
There's a
because
Star Wars bar on.
That's it. We're going.
that's it. I don't need to hear
It's
anymore.
like a little Ogos.
I was about that.
It's like a little Ogos.
Oh, yeah. We're
Sold.
We're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Bachelorette.
we'll see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to do a Disney Bachelorette.
I
Not for
know.
me, for Nicole.
For me, yeah. She's very adamant about this. And look, I'm not against it at all. So yeah, you sold me for sure. But yeah, so we were both like, we need to have her immediately. She's gonna be away for a very long time. So yeah,
Is there any inside scoop that we can get now about any
future stuff. I know you're gonna be, quite busy for the next couple of months,
Yeah.
but do you have anything lined up after, or anything just you have off the top of your head?
So actually, when I'm in Toronto, I'm gonna go to Toronto Comic Con and bring my Leia cosplay.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, I got some pieces to upgrade her.
Fun,
for the con.
okay.
I'm very excited about. And then when I come back, my plan is to actually work on live action Hera.
Oh, okay.
Exciting.
There's some pieces I want to upgrade on my Hera cosplay. I want to get a new belt and stuff, but that's just like little projects I've been working on. And when I come back, I want to focus on a lot of Star Wars stuff, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I want to do Hoth Leia. She's been a plan for a
Oh, she's
while.
iconic.
Yeah.
She's so
Hoth Leia is
iconic.
my favorite Leia outfit.
Yes, of
I
course.
think I mentioned before I want to do Padme. I don't know which one yet, but I'm
Okay.
like, Padme's also been like a full Padme cosplay. It's been such a long time filming. It's one I
Yeah.
can use my hair with.
Exactly.
I would love to do the lake dress.
Yes, that's a
The
good
lake dress
one.
Or the metal dress, I guess.
Yeah, or like the nightgown. Oh, it's a beautiful
that
one.
Like her hair's like down. Like
Exactly.
So
It's beautiful.
definitely want to do a Padme cosplay next year. And then I just actually got an idea the other day. Is that I'm going to do Ayla Secura.
Oh, she.
That
is one of
baddie?
my favorites
Absolutely.
growing up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got the Twilight thing down.
Absolutely.
I want to do another. Try a different color. So be a blue Twilight.
Yeah.
Be
Wow.
Secura. So that's definitely a cosplay. But yeah. So and let's see like non-Star Wars cosplays. I'm trying to think. Oh, I was just talking about this the other day too. Is that I want to do Mary Margaret from Once Upon a Time.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm only somewhat familiar with this show, but yeah.
Once Upon a Time is probably the show I've rewatched the most besides Rebels.
Okay, so that means you watch it a lot, yeah.
That means I watch it a lot. I was obsessed with it growing up, and I love Snow White on that show. So that is
Oh, that's nice.
that's a cosplay I really want to do. Probably look into when I'm getting back. But
Ooh.
yeah, definitely next year a lot more Star Wars. A lot of other Hera outfits. I'd also love to do her outfit, like the one with like the red tank top from the Occupation in season 4.
Oh, sure.
Disguise outfit.
Yeah,
Really
it's a great one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, I also just
Every
And
single
also-
hero one.
And also
I have this idea, like a dream group I want to do for a con or something, or if I go to like Mosh Isley Evers,
Oh, yes.
I want to do Punk Rebels.
Oh, that would be so
Ooh.
cool.
That's quite the idea. I like that. I'm kind of into that. Yeah.
I have all these Hera variants in my mind.
Oh, absolutely.
now.
Spread that universe out, girl.
Right? And just a lot of Star Wars cosplays. I have a very long list on my phone. There's probably ones that I'm even
Amazing.
forgetting to mention. But yeah, so when I come back, a lot of Hera, a lot of Padme,
Yeah.
another Leia. Well, we'll see what happens next.
Wonderful. That's so. I wish you the best of luck. I feel like I don't need to
Yeah.
because you always fucking kill it. And I think like the very, very last question I want to ask is kind of what has been the most like, I don't know, like altering or life changing cosplay advice you've ever gotten, and is it the same advice you'd give to others who are just starting out in cosplay?
I really think it's what I said before about doing what characters you want to do, what inspires you, and not worrying about doing 100 cosplays a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Like last year, I only did, I think, 3 new cosplays, and then everything else was stuff I brought back. And then at the same time, I was working on my bigger cosplay projects like Hera and getting stuff for Bo and getting stuff for Ramona and other.
Oh yeah.
So I think that quality over quantity. I think
Absolutely. That's a great piece of advice.
a very great piece of advice, and I would say that to other cosplayers, but also to each their own. If you feel more fulfilled doing as many characters as you can, absolutely go for it. But if you are feeling stuck, feeling that you're being so rushed, almost feeling like it's not a hobby anymore, I think that's also another good piece of advice. That if you're cosplaying and you suddenly feel like you don't love it, it's not a hobby anymore, really step back and think about what you're creating, how you're creating it, what you want to be creating.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the absolute best thing for me, is that putting my heart into the projects and the characters that I really want to be doing, the dream cosplays.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's really amazing, and I 100% agree with that. I feel like you inspired the both of us, if anything, too. Again, when it comes to like makeup or like little life hacks, when it comes to putting your cosplays together. So. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
No,
This is so much
seriously,
fun.
yes. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time out of your busy and blessed schedule. We hope to catch you on the cruise.
Yes.
I feel like that'd be a really great reunion. Maybe do a little mini interview on the cruise. That'd be quite an episode.
And if not, next year when I come
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you come back, we definitely want to have you back.
cruise out.
Whenever you're able to do the show. It's been such a pleasure.
It's really been such a pleasure.
Such an honor. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank
And all
you.
that you do, have fun overseas. Send us any sort of postcards or pictures that you can. Make sure that y'all follow Miss Olivia on Instagram and Twitter. Once again, your handles are...
Yes, it's the Libra Live on TikTok and Instagram. I'm at Olivia Mary Joan on Twitter, and then also my podcast that I run with my friend Chloe is Damsels Distressing. You could find us on Spotify, and we also have an Instagram account.
Hell yeah. What kind of quote do you think Hera would close out this podcast episode? That's how we'll close out for this episode. Go for it.
What do you want me to say?
Well,
Like one of her quotes?
or what would you feel like she would say? What kind of sign off would she have?
This is Spectre 2 signing off.
Perfect. That's it.
That was beautiful.
Cut the cameras. We're done here. Thank you so much for being here, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
It's such a
Thank you.
pleasure.
It's so much fun.
Yay!
We did it.